Today we celebrate the feast of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and we look at them, and I love the fact that this year we have this gospel of Jesus, of the finding of the child Jesus in the temple, so that we know even in a perfect family, even when we're talking about the Word incarnate and the Immaculate Virgin Mary and the greatest saint after Mary in the whole universe, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, even with them, there's chaos. And don't we know so well how much chaos there are in families? I think about my own family. My mother is one of 10 kids. And so when we get together for a family gathering, like a week ago Saturday for my cousin's wedding, it was very messy. People everywhere running around. It was just chaos. Trying to, got to talk to this one, and there's all this noise over here and all that. And it's wonderful. You know, a lot of times we think that we're supposed to have it all together, right? That those kids that are screaming on the floor, that this isn't the way life is supposed to be. Well, maybe. Maybe it is. I remember Deacon John always told this story, and so you're going to say, well, that sounds familiar. Well, you can tell Deacon John that I'm quoting him then. Where he says about the mother who's looking out over her backyard that's bare, and she says, there's no grass out there because there are no children. Oh, when will the grass, because the children are running around all the time. Well, when will the grass come back? And then 25 years later, she's looking out over the backyard and says, there's all this grass out there because there's no children running around. Oh, when will the children come back? I've been told by parents that when they look back, they're like, yeah, that was the best stage, as the child was, and we got through it so quickly, and it was chaos in the moment. Life is chaotic. And this is the story of our lives as family, right? And I think we have this romantic image of how it's supposed to be with the family of God. And we as church are the family of God, right? And we think, well, as Christians then, as the family of God, we're supposed to all just get along. Can't everybody just get along? Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Shouldn't it just all be wonderful? And yet, don't we have these interpersonal problems and conflicts even within the church? Oh, does that surprise us? We're brothers and sisters. Let me tell you, when I hear about what some of my uncles did to other of my uncles growing up, you wouldn't abuse anyone like that. But if someone came against that uncle, everyone was together against the person who came from the outside, right? That as families, so often, even as church, we have this chaos within our midst. In the second reading today, we hear from the first letter of St. John, and just as an aside, this first part of the text is one that I have chosen for my funeral reading, so if any of you are around for that, whenever that may be, you'll be able to hear this reading. Beloved, see what love the Father has bestowed on us, that we may be called children of God. And so we are. Beloved, we are God's children now. Now. We don't have to wait to be God's children. We're God's children now. What we shall be has not yet been revealed. What we will be down the road is not yet been revealed, but we do know that when it is revealed, we shall be like Him. For we shall see Him as He is. So we're God's children now, and He has something even greater for us. And a lot of times we're thinking, well, I'm trying to earn my sonship, my daughtership, to become a child of God. No, we are God's children now. Even in our messiness, even in our chaos, even in our struggles. And, too often we get down on ourselves because we don't have all of our stuff together. Because we look at the messiness of our lives. And yet, God sees us as family. We are His children. And ain't it good that He is far more patient than any of us as parents, right? That He is far more patient than us. And while, of course, He wants for our best, He also recognizes our weakness and our inconstancy, and He's far more merciful than we are to ourselves. And in those moments when we're beating ourselves up, that's not what God wants for us. Imagine a 2-year-old who's toddling around and falls over and then starts berating himself because he fell. What type of a parent would you be that says, yeah, you deserved it. You should have fallen. Until you get to be able to walk all on your own without any problems whatsoever, I'm not gonna love you. That's not a good parent. That's not our God. Our God looks at us as family, and He recognizes where we are in our weakness. And yes, does He set the bar high? Absolutely. He never lowers that bar saying, oh, you don't have to reach holiness. He sets the bar high. Why? Because He knows that's our good, our best. But He also has more mercy on us when we don't reach that bar. And He says, I want to help you get there. Don't beat yourself up when you can't do it. Imagine someone who wants to get in shape and they're only able to do one push-up and they say, I can't believe I can only do one push-up. Well, I'm never going to try again. What good is that? It's striving to do that one push-up and then maybe a push-up and a half the next day that will then start to build the muscles that will allow them to be able to get into shape. And God says, I do not grudge you for your littleness, for your weakness. Remember again that our God came as a baby. He came as a baby. And He had poopy diapers, just like all of us. And Mary had to change Him. Our God humbled Himself to enter into the messiness of our life. May we truly understand what it means to be part of the family of God. Of course, never lowering the bar, but also recognizing the mercy of God that God wants for all of us. That as we continue to live out, not trying to be children of God, but being children of God, that we may allow Him to pour down His mercy and His love, and so strengthen us to grow in holiness.